I think
It's so
okay.
good though.
Unless it's the Bowser's Fury part, then you are.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Side Quest on a beautiful, blistering, wow, and I effed it up right away. Wonderful evening here. Wow, shoot, I messed it up. I wrote down February 18th. It's actually February 19th.
It is the 19th, man.
I am Dolly Domofsky. Joining me, those pipes that you heard, the one, the only, the underscore, double underscore JJ.
Yeah, it is. Woohoo! Back again.
Ooh, yes. And that Mario down there that you see is not Mario. It's not a cat. It really is Sam Dixon.
Hello, friends.
I gotta put my pen away here, otherwise it's gonna sound like I'm farting the whole time. I have this like weird pen that it makes this cracking noise. I think I was in the podcast earlier this week, and are you farting? No, I'm just like pulling this pen apart. Yay! It's been a week, guys. How are you?
Oh man, I am doing. I'm getting along.
You're getting along. Is it cold where you are, JJ?
Yeah. Last weekend, we got like 10 inches of snow. And all that snow's gone, and it's just cold and wet and rainy now. So just your typical Pacific Northwest bullshit.
Okay. All right, that works. That works.
I'm starting to really feel the after effects of COVID, and it sucks. Like,
oh no!
Like I'm actually starting to get like I didn't have a cough during it, but now I'm just nonstop coughing and. Like tired and weak and just like what the fuck? I thought I was over this.
You wait till you get to the point where you get lazy, because that's what happened to me and my parents. We all got lazy because of, and I don't know if that was like if that's like a medical side effect of it or not, but I legit was.
I think I was looking at like the long haul stuff and like you know lethargy is like one of the things. So.
Yep. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised. Sam, how you doing, my dude?
I'm good. As we discussed beforehand, had a recent plumbing incident as recent as earlier today, so that was fun. But everything's cool. Yeah.
So everything clearly went smooth because you are here.
So, yes, yeah. I am here.
Yep. I'm glad that everything coming out of that bathroom was smooth. So it sounded horrible, and it was horrible on purpose. Well, we have a really good show tonight. A lot has happened this week, not weather-wise, actual gaming news-wise.
Old man weather segment over.
Old man weather segment over. If Aaron shows up at some point, he may be just drunk. He's been having his jaw problems again, so the poor dude is like, it's all locking up. So, and then Zach has some stuff he's been playing. He said he wanted to talk about, but I don't see him. Maybe he'll show up. Kids these days, right?
He's probably just stuck in Final Fantasy 14 again,
or with the freaking electricity, because obviously he's one of the dudes that he's in Texas. So they're
in Texas,
We're giving a pass to everybody tonight because it's been crazy. But we do have a lot to talk about. We'll start with the news, and there has been a lot of news this week. Do you guys want to go BlizzCon first or Nintendo Direct first? I'm gonna leave up to you, Jess, to discuss.
Let's do BlizzCon because that just happened, and I think we have collectively have less to talk about with BlizzCon than we would with Nintendo stuff.
Okay. All right. Well, BlizzCon is happening now. Started this weekend. As we speak, it's live, and there's a bunch has happened. I'm literally just gonna go through some of these notes. The big one to me, I think, that I think all of us were chatting about is the I think it's called the Classic Collection or the
like it's got like Arcade Classic Collection or something. Like it's. All right. I don't think of those games as arcade games, so I feel like that's wrong. So.
Well, it's a collection of games including the Lost Vikings, Rock and Roll Racing, and Blackthorn. It's a Blizzard Arcade Collection. There you go. That's what it's called. So all three of those games are available right now on essentially every platform. Yeah. Just put this collection out there.
I don't think of the Last Vikings as an arcade game. I mean, like I guess it is, but I think every human being played that on the SNES. Like on
the SNES, or I think I played it on PC. I may have. I don't
PC, know. Yeah. It's just like Rock and Roll Racing is kind of an interesting one to bring back. Like that's like. Because that's, it lives up to its name. It's this, I think everything's like a bootleg or actual licensed version of a song in that too.
Yeah, it's cool. Rock and Roll Racing is
Blackthorn is one of those games that you don't remember, but then you see it and you like immediately remember the cover art to it because it looks like a Jim Lee comic book from the 90s.
It's true.
It was rotoscoped, so it had that Prince of Persia style of action and stuff. So.
I'm actually upset that StarCraft 64 wasn't included in the collection. That's one game. See, Blizzard does have quite a interesting back catalog of games.
Yeah. They did a couple of DC games back in the day because they did that.
That's true, they did. Yeah,
they did the death, like they did like the Death and Rebirth of Superman, and I think they did the console version of that shitty Task Force, that Justice League fighting game from the.
Oh, that's right.
90s. I think they did the Super Nintendo version of that. It's just not a good game, but it was the game that you always got for like, $15 at KB Toys or something.
Sure. More news from BlizzCon. If you do, and a lot of old games. I'll say this: in a year when 2020 was people figuring out how to manage around COVID, and I really do feel like while they're still working, these studios are working on their new projects throughout the year, and obviously the pandemic is affecting stuff. They thought we still got to get stuff out there. Let's put out some of our classics. You saw that and we'll talk about Nintendo doing that. Everybody's been doing it. Blizzard announced a bunch today. So we mentioned the arcade collection. An interesting one here. So World of Warcraft Classic. The was it last year or the year before they announced they kind of released literally the original version of World of Warcraft. They're adding the Burning Crusade into this, which is just like. You know what? They literally are just restarting World of Warcraft.
It's going to be great when they're just going to be like slowly, like they're just going to be a couple paces behind. Like, and next we're going to add the next DLC pack, expansion.
Yeah, and then eventually they'll be like, "Guess what? You guys have caught up."
Yeah.
So the Burning Crusade Classic has been announced at BlizzCon.
I mean, sure. Who the fuck cares anymore? Like, just do it. Give me that nostalgia pump. I'm fine. Just.
I don't know what Blizzard can do with World of Warcraft right now.
I don't know what I was never a World of Warcraft guy. I think I played a collective of like 15 minutes of World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I think maybe.
because I think it came free in an early PAX kit. Like I just got it and like the first like 3 expansions or something. And, like,
yep.
And I just I don't care. I like Warcraft. I like Warcraft 1, 2, 3, and StarCraft and all that stuff. But like that online part of it just isn't my cup of tea. So I really don't know what's up with Warcraft these days. I don't know why Classic needs to exist. I don't know. Like when people are mad about something or angry about something or disappointed, I never know. I can never really figure out what's going on. And I don't know if it's even popular as much. I don't know do you know what the numbers are these days for Warcraft?
Nope, because it had gotten to like, they're like, oh, look, we broke the 10 million mark, which it's still something today, but it's not nearly like 10 million is low for like Grand Theft Auto Online.
Because like you used to be able to go to the grocery store and see like time cards for World of Warcraft stuff. I see a lot less of that. So I don't know. I mean, kids aren't really diving in and playing with their friends in the same way, because that used to be the thing that people like, oh, got my friends together and this is what we do together. But like, Minecraft has come out since then, and Fortnite and things like this, that like that's where people just hang out in Minecraft and just hang out. They have a server and they hang out together, and they don't need to go on a quest the same way we had to, 15 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, and Minecraft went educational for a lot of things too, which made them real popular, and they became really accessible for stuff. And World of Warcraft has stayed World of Warcraft. It's like, no, we've got lore that we've got to build around. Even games like, God, I want to say Elder Scrolls Online has probably surpassed World of Warcraft in terms of the amount of subscribers at this point, or players, because they basically went free to play in some weird little respect.
Well, it's like, you get an Xbox and it's just there. You got Games Pass. It's there. You just download it. Let's go.
Okay. Yeah, I would be curious to see. So, as of October, the World of Warcraft player count is 4.88 million.
Wow.
And yeah, literally, no, it's WoW. It is WoW. Get it? And then that's nothing, dude. And then Elder Scrolls. Hold on,
I think Final Fantasy 14 is like, even like you have all these MMOs, like the multiplayer thing, the massive multiplayer, whether it be these RPGs or squad shooters or whatever, or just like dominating leaderboards these days.
Yeah. In 2019, Elder Scrolls Online had 13.5 million players. Jeez. And that's still moving up. That's they announced a bunch of stuff last year. They just announced a bunch of stuff that's coming.
Are they? Is WoW splitting their fan base too with doing the classic stuff? I don't know how that works.
I think you have to have an active subscription for the classic stuff also.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's the same subscription, so I can see that. Yeah.
So Elder Scrolls Online back in January of 2020 had 15 million. So Elder Scrolls Online is
Wait, did you say how many million?
15 million for Elder Scrolls.
15, okay. Wait, what the fuck did you just say? I thought you said 50.
No, I mean, but I don't think WoW ever got to that number.
No.
Which is wild to think, and it's wild.
Well, maybe
Elder Scrolls Online ended up on Games Pass too, didn't it?
Yeah.
So you have that whole fan base that has access to it. WoW has just always been PC and Mac.
Yeah.
Never went to anything else.
Zach is ready to come in.
All right, let me get in there. All right, there we are. Hey, Zach. Yeah, WoW's peak was 12 million, and it's dropped to 4.88 million since then. So, that's a precipitous drop for WoW. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's. I hate to say it's not salvageable because we've seen stuff come back all the time, but what like Elder Scrolls is far bigger now. It's like 5 times the size of WoW in terms of player count.
Zach, what's the active user base of Final Fantasy 14 right now?
Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah,
I think it's like 3 million, 4 million.
Okay,
it's not as big, but it's still big.
So that's about on par with WoW because we were just looking at it, and in 2019, WoW was at like 4.5, I think you said, or something like so. Okay.
I think with Elder Scrolls, what makes that so accessible is you can play the game with your friends on any tier. Yeah. So if I'm level 10 and you're level 40, the game will sync to where everything's level 10 to me and level 40 to you.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
have
just
the numbers, by the way.
Here we go.
Final Fantasy 14 is estimated right now over 20 million subscribers. So
what?
That's coming from Square Enix. Realm Reborn at one point had 24 million subscribers, and
that seems ridiculous.
I don't even believe that, and I play that game.
That just sounds like a lie.
In July of 2020, Square Enix announced that Final Fantasy 14 had surpassed the 20 million registered players mark. Now, registered and subscribed.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's not active. That's not active. That's just people that have signed up over the course.
Well, and can you play to level 60 in one of the expansions for free also? Are they counting those players?
Yeah, probably. But hey, you know what? Those folks, even if they're free, they bring money in later on and at some point. So, yeah. Okay, now I'm seeing all that. Yeah. So there we go. We talked about the arcade collection, Burning Crusade. Hey, more old games. You guys like your Diablos?
Yeah, I do.
Diablo 2. I think everyone's favorite Diablo has been
universally sort of the chosen one.
It has been resurrected. Diablo 2 Resurrected is what they're calling it. It's coming this year with so that's what Vicarious Visions has been working on. Yeah. And it's coming to PS5, Xbox Series. Let me revise it. Coming to PS5, it's coming to Xbox Series X/XS, the all-in-one media video game entertainment console, including online game, Ultimate Game Pass, and more. PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. So it's got controller support for PC. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Ready? 4K resolution. Nice 3D 3D physically based rendering, whatever that means. So basically, they've updated the visual style completely, and includes the Lord of Destruction expansion, a bunch of other shit. So,
hell yeah,
hell yeah! I think a lot of people are happy about that one. That is pretty fucking awesome.
That's probably a game that I'm just gonna buy twice. I'm gonna get like the really good version. I'll get like the PC version and the Switch version. Like just
and it syncs back and forth, right?
Syncs back and forth, yeah. So,
I mean, Diablo 3. I have Diablo 3 on Switch, and it's really good. It's super competent. It functions. And it looks great. I mean, it's Diablo 3. They're not graphically intense games by any means, but they're perfect, for what you need to do. So
even in its remastered state, it's still Diablo 2. So it's
and what I see them possibly doing is with Diablo 3, they have seasons. Like each season has like different, like a checklist of what you do. I can see them just adding that into this game because it would be pretty easy to do that.
So yeah, they're again they're really going all out with this stuff. So that's pretty cool. Let's see here. So Diablo, that's coming. Everything, that's great. Overwatch 2, some new stuff. They kind of showed some new missions, maps. We don't know when that game's coming.
No, it's
never.
It didn't even make it to like the opening of that show. Like it got its own separate thing after the fact. Like I don't even think they give a shit about the Overwatch 2 right now. And then I still don't know what that game is. Like they make it sound like it's just Overwatch, but
I don't think they know what it is.
They don't know what it is. Do you guys remember Overwatch League?
Yeah.
There's a Philadelphia team whose name I definitely remember.
Yep.
I did see that they added like weather to stages where you can like play through a sandstorm and play through the snow, and I'm like,
sandstorm. Sorry.
Darude, you gonna go?
I was gonna go there.
Oh,
and then Diablo 4, they showed they kind of debuted the Rogue, I think, which is another new character, another new class.
BlizzCon still has the greatest that moment of, is this some sort of off-season April Fool's joke when they did the one? Still so good.
Yup.
My Diablo 4 excitement is pretty low. Like the trailer, I didn't like the way it looked. Like I like the cinematic stuff. I didn't like how the gameplay looked. And the stuff they showed last year about like stats being consolidated in like three different things instead of like there's no like skill trees and stuff. So I'm really interested to see what they do because they have Path of Exile to like kind of follow after. Like that's like the biggest like top-down action RPG, and Path of Exile kind of has this like ultimate replay ability to it that Diablo doesn't have, and they also add things every couple of months that change the way you play the game. So that like a live service type of games as a service type of game is kind of hard to follow. So I'm kind of curious to see what they do. But knowing Blizzard, it's just going to be like a $60 game here, like whatever, and they know people will just buy it. So
yep. It's the aesthetic of Diablo goes a long way. So it's
it really does. It really does. And I think the last one was there's a Hearthstone like single player campaign coming too. So
I like Hearthstone.
Yeah.
I like just every like 6 months I'll get a wild hair in my ass to play Hearthstone, and then I do. Yep. And I do for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then I never touch it again for the longest time.
And that's it. That's BlizzCon.
Yay!
So, people were really hoping for Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2 something this year, but tied them over with some classics because 2021 is still a wash.
I'm just glad that Diablo 2 isn't done by Blizzard in-house because Warcraft 3 was like a piece of shit. So
it's vicarious visions, like like for better or worse, I at least like can trust them. So like it's not like they have a perfect track record, but I mean did they
do Tony Hawk?
They became and eventually Guitar Hero. Like they became the Guitar Hero guys. Yeah.
Which were good. What's interesting is So, well, not interesting, but Activision did mention, they said, hey, we got more remasters coming this year during their annual, their financial update.
Yeah.
Here we go. We got a bunch of them. I'm counting
what else?
four.
Yeah, what
four,
else?
At least four.
What else could they Activision, like, from the non-Blizzard side, like, pump out as a remaster? Like,
Skylanders. That's the original Skylanders game, which is pretty good.
We're gonna get another Call of Duty like remaster soon.
Oh, for sure.
There's gonna be Ops. Yeah, the first Black Ops seems like a layup.
I think the first World at War, I think kind of, that was
Call of Duty 5. We're gonna get the World
Call of Duty 5.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if was it Big Red 1 or Call of Duty?
Big Red 1, yeah.
Call of Duty 2, whatever Big Red 1. I think those could be
Call of Duty 3 on the Switch, or not Switch, on the Wii was a fucking nightmare.
Did they ever add dismemberment stuff to the games again after 5, or was that like the only one?
I think that may be the only one.
I think that was the only one. I don't think
that game was violent. Like you could shoot people's legs off.
Yeah, that one was that was like the only time where they really sort of like, because it was the Pacific Theater stuff, so it was like, oh yeah, no, this is a gruesome war, and we're gonna fucking go all in on it. So.
I think they decided, hey guys, dismemberment that's just taking it too far. Let's just go like kill random innocents in an airport. That would be the easier way.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Let's
cool.
So that was BlizzCon, and it's happening now. There was a Nintendo Direct yesterday. I'm still writing articles about that.
2 days ago.
Was it 2 days ago?
I think so. I don't know. My weeks were like one.
Yeah, I think it was 2 days ago. Wasn't it? Maybe.
No, it was Thursday. It was Thursday.
It was Thursday. Yeah. It was yesterday.
Are you sure? It was Wednesday. It was Wednesday.
It was yesterday.
Nah, it was Thursday, my dude.
Yeah.
Yep. It wasn't Wednesday, my dude. It was Thursday, my dude. Yeah. Well, there was a whole bunch of shit that came out of that Nintendo. Let's just say that. Whole bunch of shit came out of the Nintendo.
Nope. It was actually Wednesday.
Holy shit.
I think he's correct. Hold on.
Wait a minute. Okay, we're all just fucked up, aren't we? I don't remember. I listened to it at work.
Oh my god, it was 2 days ago. You're right. Holy damn it.
No, I got my days mixed up. Yep. Absolutely Wednesday.
Right. You know what? It's okay. None of us know what any day is right now, so that's totally fine.
Time is a flat circle.
Time is a flat circle. And a lot of shit did come up from the Nintendo Direct. I'll go through some of the list right here. We got Fall Guys coming to Switch and Xbox this summer.
So who cares?
Yeah, we already.
I think that's dead. That game's like. I don't hear anything about that game anymore.
You don't even because it used to be like the streamer game, and now it's like even they're like whatever.
Like Rust.
Let's see. You got Skyward Sword HD. A lot of folks are saying this was the big news, Skyward Sword HD. But, guess what we're not getting this year? Breath of the Wild 2.
Hey, those controllers look nice.
They do. Yeah. I love the new coming.
I ordered them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
See, I have no interest in that, and there's a lot of talk online about how Skyward Sword is the worst 3D Zelda, but it's still not a terrible, awful game. Mm-hmm. But no way I'm dipping on this one.
It's just there's a lot of extra fluff in Skyward Sword, like way too much extra.
It would be nice. It would be nice if they figured out a way to fix some of the issues like they did in Wind Waker when they brought that back. Where they like streamlined the bullshit at the end of that game. And
well, that's the one too. Every time you pick up an item, it's like, hey, see this object? You haven't picked this up 80 times, right?
Yeah. Was it Faye or Fee, whatever the
Yeah.
Well, that's coming. It looked a little crisper, I guess. It didn't really look all that
60 frames a second.
Yeah, 60 FPS is kind of interesting, so that's cool.
Thumbstick controls is really what would be the only driving factor to get me into that.
Yeah, so it's going thumbstick controls, which is definitely good.
I will say the No More Heroes port that uses thumbstick controls works really well. So
does it? Okay.
My excitement for that is pretty high. So
I'm glad you mentioned No More Heroes because we finally got a No More Heroes date, and that's going to be August.
Hell yeah! What was his brother's name? Henry Cooldown.
Henry Cooldown.
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
That's awesome.
Him and Kojima just get together and make up names together.
Totally. The other Zelda news was remember, this is Zelda's big 35th anniversary. So of course you're gonna get big things like Skyward Sword HD and Age of Calamity DLC, which I'm okay with. Whatever. More.
I feel like in another time, like in a non-COVID time, they would be like, and we're the concert tour is coming back or whatever and shit like that. But
do you guys think we're gonna get like a Zelda 35th anniversary direct at some point? Or
I would hope so.
I want it too much, so no.
Yeah, but like But I guess the only way that happens is if they actually do have Breath of the Wild 2 stuff to show us. Like, because anything else would just be like, all right, here's the game we already showed you and some more re-releases, and we're putting out a CD or something. Like, I mean, that's cool, but is it a direct cool?
I would actually be pretty happy if they did like a Twilight Princess port.
Yeah. Those games have to be coming. I can't imagine them not popping up at some point.
I think with Skyward Sword coming in July, I think they were able to throw that game out by itself because it hasn't been remastered to this point. But I kind of feel like you'll get Twilight Princess, you'll get. Well,
I think they'll just make. I just think they'll put those digital only and just set like a generic price.
Yeah, I kind of thought about that too. However, then I realized they'll make a lot of money for people buying them in a case. Like the Mario.
They are.
Yeah,
they are pretty excited to tell you to pre-order now on the Nintendo eShop. So they're like, pre-order now on the Nintendo eShop. I was like, oh, better pre-order my digital game before it sells out.
But I also do think we'll get Ocarina, and I don't know if we'll get Majora's, but I think we'll get. I'd like to see like a Triforce pack with. I think we were talking about.
I can see them putting the 3DS versions out.
That's exactly what I was saying. 3DS version. Yep.
Or they put out like a little $10 version of the Oracle of Seasons and Ages games.
Yeah, there's not a lot of Game Boy games on the Switch, so
they're all by third parties. So
yep.
I actually am surprised that they didn't announce like NES Online update with Game Boy games.
Although somebody brought
so much work.
Mike, I was talking to Mike Zero in our Discord. We had a Clubhouse. You guys hated that Clubhouse thing about the kind of retro games, and Nintendo has been doing a sort of rite of passage with the physical console launch before they bring the software version in. So the NES and the Super NES have been released, and so I'm still amazed they haven't announced a Game Boy or an N64. But then once those are out, then they could potentially bring those over to the Switch. But who knows? I don't think you need a portable N64 because that looks like crap on a television. You could get that on the Switch because it's got 4 ports. You got to worry about now 4 controller ports, and it's a little more cumbersome. But a portable Game Boy would sell like that. Was
crazy,
amazing.
Yeah, just like it would be make it a Game Boy Color in an original Game Boy sort of body, or give it the.
Oh, dude! Allow people to buy different colored versions of that. Just it's like, hey, it's a Game Boy. There's a red one, a green one, a blue one, a yellow one.
Play it loud, baby.
The play it loud. People would buy every single one of those. But I don't have the blue one. I need the blue one. I need the yellow one. So who knows what they'll do with Zelda stuff? We can have a speculation show at some point, but those are the 2 Zelda announcements. We also got let's see here, scrolling through here. I'm kind of going through this at the list that I have them written.
You're saving the good ones. Is that what we're doing?
Saving the good ones, yes. Mario in Animal Crossing. At first, I thought it was just going to be like, hey, you can buy a star and a Mario hat. But they're putting fucking warp pipes in. Game changer, dude. Game changer.
Now it's only 2 warp pipes from one point A to point B. You can't just you can't create this complex system of pipe land for Mario 3. You have to
but you can make like I can see myself making like mazes and like alternate maps and stuff and unreachable area. I'm totally gonna try to make unreachable areas that you can only get to with.
Well, I mean, theoretically with the deformation, you can just create sort of like a secret area where you can just like put the pipe there and then build up around it, so you can only get there through the pipe.
That's what I'm gonna do. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Yeah. So yeah, I think that could be kind of cool with this. I think that'll. Like I said, the warp pipe I think will really expand for the folks that are really kind of innovative and love to have fun with their It
games. Would be cool if you could just put like the one end of the pipe in your own house and just
dude, that would be so cool. Yeah, just a quick way to get home. Anyways, that's coming March 1st, I believe they said. You got Miitopia is coming over.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Miitopia was great.
And it's like $60, right?
Yeah, $60.
Like slightly better visuals in the 3DS version. But so I showed my daughter and I were watching the direct as it was happening. And she's quite literally just finished Miitopia on the 3DS. For some reason, she got into it again and decided to finish it. I told her that she had to finish her games. Finished Miitopia. She's doing a bunch of the side quests, and it's kind of a meaty game when you.
There's a lot in that game. There's like a second, second half. You're like, oh shit! There's a shit ton more. As
soon as you think you're done, you're like, what the f? But she was super excited. I'm like, why? It's the same game. She's like, Dad, they got horses now.
It's the epitome of that Simpsons, but she's got a new hat.
Yes, it is. It quite literally is. So, anyways, I'm excited because I never had a chance to play it. I bought it for her, and the way the 3DS is set up is you can only have one save per freaking cartridge.
Yeah.
So I didn't get a chance to play it, and now I will actually have that opportunity to play Miitopia. Hey, that's coming in May. Nintendo has a pretty nice cadence of games when you think of at least one per month. We didn't get and there's a few more I'll announce here too. We'll go through too. We got the Pokemon stuff is coming next week, I think. And we're all expecting a Pokemon Direct. You got new Pokemon Snap, which will sell quite a bit.
It's they haven't really started leaning into the 25th anniversary yet. They're just starting to leak out like those. Concert. Yeah, because like I definitely did get a Pokemon 25th anniversary Happy Meal.
Just one. I got 3 of them. All right. But yeah, so they got the Pokemon stuff coming. But so their first half of this year is actually looking pretty good. They also have, for those folks that are also coming in March, the folks that are still playing Super Smash Brothers, you got Pyra and Mithra are coming.
Yeah.
The kind of that dual, which is similar like Steve and Dave from Minecraft. You kind of get 2 in 1. But a surprise, no one was expecting a Xenoblade character to show up, but it is kind of cool. I mean, it's just another sword battler, but it makes sense. You got to get one person from all of your games. But I do like that it's, they finally got another female in there, which is pretty cool because you want to get much more variety of characters in the game. So at least it was another Fire Emblem character. At least it was.
I like the trailer a lot. That trailer was really good. Because it could have totally been an expansion to that game. I've been like, cool, but then I was like,
that's how they've kind of played it off at first. Yeah, you see the plus through, and then it just goes into like a Xenoblade. I'm like, so they got Xenoblade. I had forgotten about. Like seconds into it, it looked like a Xenoblade trailer. I forgot that it was a Smash trailer. Like, it's a Smash Brothers trailer.
You could see Nintendo going to Monolith and be like, "Hey guys, we need a trailer from you guys. Whip it up for us."
But yeah, so there you go. I got to get back into that game. I've played it just super briefly. So, and I bought the expansion too. So yeah, I love the Xenoblade games. And then let's see here.
Samurai Warriors 5.
Samurai Warriors 5, which
the Muso invasion just really going all in.
Persona 5S is on Tuesday or today if you're Corey and you've done the big. And that's why we haven't heard from Corey because he's playing that. But yeah, Samurai Warriors 5, that's a pretty big one. You're right. The Muso invasion continues. And it looks pretty good actually. Looks visually they kind of chose a cool art style. Plants vs. Zombies Neighborville, A Battle for Neighborville.
I never would have guessed that Plants vs. Zombies would have made it like into this like its third console generation.
Yeah,
at this point. Just seems.
It completely, it continues to keep going there. I'm glad they brought this game over. I'm still surprised the original Plants vs Zombies games are not on like Switch. I don't think they're on PS4 or they may be on Xbox, but they're definitely not on PS4 or.
If it is, it's like on Xbox via like backwards compatibility, just because it plays.
Yeah, exactly.
All that. Yep. Or it's like because it's like EA shit, so that's like EA Play is involved with that too, so it's just free, and here you go.
It'd be jeweled for free as well. I mean, but so that's kind of cool. It's and that Jeff, our good friend Jeff Grubb, mentioned that they were going to have a bunch of EA games, and there were 7, and one was going to be from sort of an indie developer. And guess what? The indie developer is? It's Velen Studios, the same folks that did Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. The game is called Knockout City, and it's basically Dodgeball Royale.
Yeah, it looked like it was like dodgeball mixed with like there's a bit of a Windjammers thing going on.
Oh
it seems like there's like control, like you're weaponizing the
there
whatever. So,
There was this dodgeball game that Amazon made a while ago, 3-4 years ago. I got into the beta for. They had like MOBA skills. I don't remember the name, but I remember playing it. And this game reminds me of that. So I was excited because like that concept was cool. Like having a team and like throwing a ball back and forth. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I hated that trailer. So.
That trailer sucked. That trailer was bad.
Yep. It was. I thought it was a Fortnite game. Yeah. Then I thought it was something completely different. But
it was trying to do like a weird like Wreck-It Ralph thing. It was just like
yeah, with characters that kind of look like characters that we think we know, but they're not really.
It's like, is this Warcraft? Is this called Gears of War? What the fuck is it?
Mm-hmm.
And then it doesn't transfer over into the aesthetic in the game. Like it sort of made it seem like it was going to be like characters from all types of different genres joined together, but no.
They're just playing the game.
Yeah,
just playing the game. Let's see, Famicom Detective Club.
Yeah, that's fucking.
That game looks cool. Yeah.
You guys tell me about this because I don't know anything about this.
I don't know either. It just looks cool.
I remember reading about it. I never played it. It's because I'm sure there's fan translations, but I never sought them out. But I mean, it is what you see is what you get. It is a just sort of visual novel. like mystery games. They're like it's like ghosts and stuff too. It's not just like
right
crime dramas and stuff. But I like that they kept the Famicom name. I like that they didn't try to change that up.
I was actually surprised. Cool. I thought they would have just called it Detective.
And that it's not just like when they put out that Fire Emblem anniversary thing where it's just like this is just a fucking game. Enjoy. You spend $50 on the on an acrylic NES cartridge.
Mm-hmm.
This one, it's new. It's like everything, like it's the same game, but actual, like we just redid it, which seems ridiculous. Yeah, they put a lot of work into it, and it's coming out in America. Like we're getting these 2 games, still ain't giving us Mother 3.
Things started to ramp up a little bit. More kind of classic games are showing up with Ninja Gaiden Master Collection. So that's kind of cool. That's coming to everything. Yep. You know what's interesting is I forget who it was. I don't know if it was during our Clubhouse or somebody somewhere else mentioned it, but announcing your game on a Nintendo Direct, even if it's coming to every other console, announcing on a Nintendo Direct is a brilliant move because everybody's eyes are on the Direct.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh shit, Ninja Gaiden's coming. And then you're like, you get the news out there. It's like, oh, by the way, this is coming to everything. It's just we use
so you get like 2 separate hits because you get the like, oh shit, Ninja Gaiden, and then it's like it's also coming to the things that you want it on too, and everyone's like, oh fuck yeah.
Nintendo
and Nintendo will also get to sort of keep that sort of like space in your head where you're even some people will think that it's just a Nintendo exclusive because it was on the Direct and they didn't follow up on it. So they're excited for the Switch version. They'll get it on the Switch, and Nintendo knows what they're doing. Like I said, like I said, they started referring to it like I said, and now here's the next headline because they fucking know. They know that everything that comes out of their mouth is going to be front page of whatever website is covering this right now. Every single thing.
And Nintendo, I mean, Nintendo Directs get the most views out of any of the console manufacturer videos, the live streams. They announced so many games that it really is. It's a front of the page type of thing with them. So it's smart. Yeah. Anyways,
on Wednesday, I'm certain if you went to SideQuesting or like Kotaku or something, there would have been less than zero other like platform news. It's just all Nintendo news on the page one, just because
it's kind of dominating.
Yeah.
30 plus games they announced. Other things they announced. Let's see. Did you guys see Neon White, which is sort of that kind of weird kind of demon killing game from the Dortmund County devs?
Call of Duty Hearthstone, like the card game.
Oh, I love that Call of Duty Hearthstone.
Dude, it's like Quake. That's what it reminded me of because they had a rocket launcher and they use it to jump. Like
they were doing like the rocket. Yeah,
they were jumping up the walls with the rocket jump. I was like, dude, like this game is going to be nuts.
Yeah,
I'm so excited to get my hands on that.
It's going to be. It was doing that stuff better than Rocket Arena.
Right? Oh, yeah. Remember Rocket Arena?
I want to play that game. I don't know. I know the trailer doesn't really explain a whole lot about what you're actually doing in that game. You see cards flipping around. You see this dude play it, like just flipping around with a rocket launcher and shit. It's like, I don't know what this is, but I want to see more. I want to
know more. World's End Club. The makers of was it Danganronpa? I don't even
Dang
know.
It, Grandpa.
Dang it, Grandpa. Oh, that's nice. That looks kind of cool. You're kind of traversing around with Tokyo and other stuff, right?
I have zero connection to Danganronpa at all. I just know of its existence, and I've seen some Let's Plays of the first hour of that game or whatever.
Those guys, that guy, I forget his name, but I played most of his games in the they make some weird ass games. Like their stories go places that are just so experimental and weird. So I'm excited to see where this one goes.
There is a Danganronpa PSVR demo thing, and I booted it up and had no fucking idea because you're in some sort of you're on trial or something. I don't know what the fuck's going on with this game. And just a bunch of weirdos are talking at you, and I'm I'm lost completely.
You got another port. Outer Wilds is coming. Now you have Outer Worlds, which I'm not going to talk about, and Outer Wilds, though that's coming to Switch.
Outer Wilds
is so good.
Yeah, that was a lot of folks' game of the year, so that was pretty cool. Let's see here. I'm going through the list. Yeah, we got another Monster Hunter Rise trailer. God, that game looks so fucking good. How are they squeezing that onto Switch? Capcom, good job with your freaking engine, man. You rocked it.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. We got the final trailer for remember Bravely Default 2 is coming out next week, people. I think you're forgetting about that. But it was almost instantly overshadowed by the news of Project Triple Triangle Triad Archery Adventure, whatever it's called. Which I haven't I downloaded the demo, but I haven't played it yet.
I mean, yeah,
dude,
I haven't. It's ready to go. I just haven't had the time to dive in.
Yep.
It has
tonight.
It has the elemental building stuff from Octopath. Yeah. So
what game?
Just kind of
what game?
Octopath?
What game? Can I tell you guys something? I officially shipped out Octopath Traveler today. It is sold. It is out of my house, and I will never talk about it again unless there's a sequel.
They have another game on Apple Arcade, something Caravan something.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah,
but
it's kind of cool. Yeah.
You can play that.
I'll play it. So that looks cool. Yeah, the Project Triangle Salt Iron Wars, right, guys?
Dude, it's so cool. It's so badass. I love that name. I love everything.
Salt Iron Wars definitely feels like that's something coming out of the Gundam universe or something. Yes. It's great.
So Project Triangle Strategy, Final Fantasy Tactics style. I kind of so they call this when they announced it, they're like, we got the next in the 2D HD series. And like
2D HD is a good fucking
So that's cool.
That studio knows their shit, dude. I love them.
That game visually does it for me in a big way. Like it's.
So I'm good. I'm ready for it. And it looks fantastic in that sort of isometric.
I am way more into like the tactics stuff than like a traditional RPG kind of stuff. Like I fucking love Final Fantasy Tactics, like and Tactics. Like if you ask me what my favorite Final Fantasy games are, that's like those are both right fucking there. I love those games.
They also have amazing writing too, which is
and like even Ogre Battle, you know that. I mean, it's the same fucking game. Yeah,
Ogre Battle was the first of those games that I played. That was Super NES. First of those games that I played, and I freaking fell in love with that style. And I've played a bunch of games since then. I mean that is when somebody mentioned, they're like, oh, that looks a little bit like Mario and Rabbids because they have there's a zip line that gets you from one to the other. That was awesome. I'm really excited for this. This is really cool.
So good.
Yeah, if you like Square Enix and you like, speaking of classic games, you have a couple more remasters. So they gave dates on the Saga Frontier remaster and the Legend of Mana remasters coming.
Legend of Mana, was that ever announced before this? Was this?
I don't know. I don't think it was
because I was stunned when I saw Legend of Mana pop up, and I was like, "Fucking good. Legend of Mana!" That game looked so fucking good on the PlayStation 1, and when it came out. And when they released the PS1 Classic and then like putting that on the Vita, like it looked great on the Vita. Like when it's sort of like
and how quickly have you forgotten that they actually made a whole new Trials of Mana version?
I went back to watch that trailer and I didn't notice the first time, but they redrew the backgrounds and they kept the characters the same pixel art. So it's like hand drawn, like pre-done background with pixel art, and it just like looks so good. I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
So it's what's really kind of cool is let's see, they got anyway, whatever. It's awesome. It's pretty freaking cool, and I'm kind of excited, and I'm looking to get because that wasn't a part of the Mana collection, Legends of Mana, right? It was I'm looking at the actual Mana collection was Trials of Mana, it was Final Fantasy Adventure, Trials of Mana, and Secret of Mana. So I didn't get that one yet. I got to get that. That's
a great collection, man.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Or no, I do have that. Holy shit! Never mind. I do have that. It's the other one that I don't have. The
remake.
No, not the Saga collection. They need another collection of games of the Final Fantasy Legend. Was it the Saga?
Yeah, the final, like the Game Boy ones and stuff.
Yeah, they put that collection out there. Yeah, I didn't pick that one up yet. So, anyways, Legend of Mana. That's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited for that one. Oh man, there's so much. There's still more stuff. Let me get to the goods. I'm just gonna click on it right now. We got Mario Golf coming to the Nintendo Switch, which is the only one you need to care about.
That's the thing. I'm a simple man. You put a golf game in front of me, I am going to play it.
Yep.
And Mario Golf is definitely no exception. It's like
the speed golf mode. Yes, count me in.
I want like
the story mode.
Yeah,
the story mode.
Which one did? Was it the Game Boy Color version of Mario Golf that had like the RPG mode or whatever?
Yeah. Then you could import those characters into the
Nintendo 64.
The Nintendo 64 one using the Game Boy
with the transfer pack. Yeah.
You'd unlock more characters too, like right? Wasn't it like Sunny and oh man, what were those characters' names? But added more characters to the N64 version.
Like I am so freaking excited for this game. Excited.
So many questions to be answered. I need to know if are we getting the 3-button swing? Are we getting the right thumbstick swing that's become so popular in the PGA Tour games as of late? We know we're getting motion controls. Are those viable to play and fun with?
Yeah.
And I think we did get answered. You can take your single player character online and use that, so you can compete against your friends with the experience and leveling that you've done. So yeah, I mean, I'm sold. By Camelot, our boys are back in town. They're here to give us another Mario Golf, another sports.
There hasn't
Mario
been a console Mario Golf since the GameCube.
Yeah, legit, right?
The last good one.
And then finally, Splatoon 3, which
that trailer is so good. I love that trailer
was really
so
good.
I mean,
the trailer really made you think that it was like, are they making a different type of Splatoon game? Are they just?
Is this a Metal Gear Solid 5 Splatoon game? Like, that's what I was thinking. Is this like an open world in the Metal Gear Splatoon? Like, what's happening?
So they're changing the way that you enter onto battle stages by actually sort of dive in like a battle royale type of game. So there were rumors that they were going to have a spin-off battle royale Splatoon game that was just going to be kind of a free-to-play Splatoon game. While they build up to Splatoon 3, I think it sounds like they just rolled that into the full game. But
they have a name built in perfectly for a battle royale Splatoon game. It's like, if you don't call it Splattle Royale, what the fuck are you doing?
So my daughter lost her damn mind because she's just a massive Splatoon fan. She owns on when she plays online, an 11-year-old that just kicks ass. And I asked her yesterday, I'm like, hey, how many times have you watched the trailer? And she's probably, and I'm not kidding you, she's probably put about 4 hours of trailer watching time.
Well, I saw,
and she's down to like, I'm looking at pixels, Dad. I'm looking at all the details in the background. Like,
I saw a thing that was like a screenshot showing that like in Japan, the Splatoon 3 trailer by itself has like 2.5 times more views than the direct itself. Like,
it is a huge series in Japan. It's one of Nintendo's biggest games. It's bigger than Zelda and Mario.
I think it is their biggest game, period.
Next to Animal Crossing on the Switch. Yep, it is.
Splatoon has you go. You can go first.
The thing I love about Splatoon is it is this weird experimental game that just works. Like it just like came out of nowhere. It's like this like it's like their first like new like IP. Like let's just do a new IP. Yeah. And it's like it's so weird, and the music is so strange. The dialogue is just so eclectic. Like the world is just this weird like mix of like so many genres of things, and like the stories are just it's so good. There's like it shouldn't work.
Yeah, there's something. There's this over like I love the aesthetic and sort of creations of like Overwatch more than I like Overwatch. Like I like that universe. I like that lore. I do not like playing Overwatch at all. But I love everything else about Overwatch, and I just wish there was a way for me to enjoy Overwatch in a different way. But like Splatoon, like I do like playing Splatoon. I don't play it a lot, but I love everything that game does. It's just visually and character designs are like some of Nintendo's best. Like there's like every single character is unique and weird and cool, and there's this like secret lore going on that you're like piecing together and shit. And
the lore is so sick, dude.
Yeah.
It's deep lore about like the fall of humanity.
People are fucking dead in this universe.
No, I love
Eiffel Tower is upside down and in the dirt.
What I loved about Splatoon was that, like, what I love about it is that you can be horrible at shooters, absolutely horrible. You can whatever weapon you use, you could suck at it, but you can still make a huge impact in the game because you're like, you can just avoid killing people and just color the ground. Yeah, and just have a blast doing it. So it's one of the most accessible shooters ever invented.
It's fast. It's that old PC style, like Quake and Unreal and stuff, where it's just like everything's like it's like 3 minutes and you're out. And you're never stop moving, and you know it's so good. It's just so fucking good.
Go ahead.
It's crazy that it's a Nintendo game that has like difficulty like curve to it, which is different for Nintendo. So
it's so like if it weren't for the aesthetic, everything else about it is like none of this is Nintendo. Like Nintendo making a shooter, but in the most Nintendo way possible. And also, it's one of the few games where like gyro controls work.
Oh god, they're great. They're great. Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, there you go. Nintendo Direct, whole bunch of stuff. How would you guys grade the Direct, like overall? Any parting thoughts about the Direct?
I was left satisfied enough. They announced the right things for me. Between Mario Golf, seeing Splatoon, you get Project Triangle Strategy, and all of the sort of like just the right kind of things that I want to see sort of like remastered and like put in a portable, like the Ninja Gaiden one's kind of cool, but also like I still have a Vita and like Sigma is on that. So like whatever, but it's cool that I'm more excited about the console versions of that one than the Nintendo versions of that one. But I mean, like, yeah, just it like if there was nothing earth shattering at all, even as a Zelda lunatic, who is very excited to get a new version of Skyward Sword and is an excuse to play that again. Wasn't super exciting announcement, but I was left happy.
What about you, Zach or Sam?
I would give it. Let's see. I would give it a B+.
Okay,
seems fair. If I had the grade,
wasn't cool. Yeah. I give it a B+. But I mean, like Legends of Mana, the Triangle Strategy game, Saga, the remake I forgot about, Splatoon 3, like, and then those weird visual novel games, like. Cool, like that's like exactly what I want out of games. So I was like, cool, perfect. Zelda stuff kind of disappointing, like JJ said, but like I don't know. I'm just kind of, as a Zelda fan, I'm used to it. Like, oh, it hasn't been 6 years yet, so there isn't a Zelda game out yet. Like,
it's wild,
It's kind of.
It does make you think though. It's. We're going to be coming up on, I mean, if the game releases in 2022, it'll be 5 years since the last Zelda game, which is, I mean, it's right on schedule. Sam, what do you think of the Direct overall?
First of all, they could have announced nothing but Mario Golf, and I'd be ecstatic. Mario Golf is so good. Really excited for that. Splatoon 3 is also very good. I think my biggest issue with Splatoon has always been just the way that it connects you to people Right now, if you have 2 people, cool, you'll end up on the same team and you'll get to play together. Hey, I have 3 people in my party. Well, 2 of them are going to be on this team, but for balancing, in air quotes, we're going to put your friend on the other team. Bad draw of it. We'll get it fixed next time. Never gets it fixed next time. I'm worried that even with Mario Golf, both these games. My interest in them really comes down to, is the online play actually something that I'm going to want to play with my friends and convince them that, hey, let's spend $60 on a Nintendo title and then hopefully have an online experience like one would expect in the year 2021, but likely won't, and then that'll be disappointing.
No. Yeah, temper that right now. That ain't gonna happen.
Hey, their new infrastructure or whatever is coming in with Monster Hunter Rise, right? Or at least that's the buzz on the street.
Yeah, that's the word on the street. That's interesting to see. Nintendo hasn't said anything, but who knows?
I'm gonna throw down that I thought it was like a solid. I mean, it had every game that I want. A solid B. B to B+. All the big announcements were perfect for me. I flipped out for Splatoon 3. It's great to know that they're planning stuff for 2022, even though they said they weren't going to. First half of the year, like they mentioned, like the games coming out the first half of the year all look great to me. Everything that I want, and they got like some ports, which is obviously porting to the Switch has now become a thing. But I think overall, it was a B to B+. I understand why some folks are a little more sour, and it really kind of revolves around the Zelda anniversary. We're gonna get something for that, but I'll say this: that I think it's going to be its own event. I wasn't expecting Zelda, like major Zelda stuff now, and I know there's a Pokemon event coming probably next week or so. I wouldn't be surprised if they have a Pokemon Direct. If anything, it almost ran a little too long. Like I could have seen them cut a couple of the smaller announcements out of there, or some of the indie announcements, whatever. Not that I don't love
indies. But Dally, Hades Physical Edition coming soon.
Yeah, didn't have to put that in there. Didn't have to put a couple things in there. I think they could have gotten the Knockout City thing. That was kind of like a bad trailer, kind of. So they could have really
Plants vs. Zombies didn't.
I'm okay with Fall Guys only because Fall Guys is still kind of a fun thing. The Plants vs. Zombies, yeah, as well. But yeah, they could have really kind of stuck to just the first party stuff and said, "Hey, check out all the first party things that are coming," and people would have lost their minds. So yeah, I think there's it was I just think it was just too much. This is the longest direct I think that they had ever that they've ever had, a 50-minute direct. Like usually they'll say we got 30 to 40 minutes. This is 50 minutes, so it could be, it was almost too much stuff. But again, I think they're going to have another one later this year, if not more, because they do have to announce the back half of the year projects. You got Pokemon stuff, and I'm sure there'll be some more Zelda crap. So yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. That's it for that. We're already at an hour. Let's talk about some of the games we've been playing so we can let people go. What games are you guys playing? Let's go with Sam first because Sam was playing a game on video a second ago. Sam, what have you been up to, my friend?
Yeah, so I mean, other than Genshin Impact, because there's an event going on. It's Lunar New Year. Happy Lunar New Year, everybody. Hope you're doing great. As soon as I remember how I activated, there it is. Boom.
There you go.
Welcome to the only game that matters. Super Mario World 3 or Super Mario 3D World with Bowser's Fury.
I've got to say this, and this is absolutely hilarious. When the Switch launched, the thing that I always heard Sam say was, "God, Captain Toad would be phenomenal on the Switch." Like you talked Captain Toad nonstop. And then they released Captain Toad. You were like, "Hell yeah, I did it!" And then I remember you saying, "Now they just got to put Mario 3D World, and then I'm completely happy." Well, Sam, here you go, Mario 3D World.
It's been out since last Friday, and I've completed both games for the most part. Man, Mario is so good. You can see, for audio listeners, you can see that I'm running around with two. Mario's here because of a cherry power-up.
Great radio.
Specific missions in this level that I need to use two people. But yeah, it's classic Mario with 3D. It's weird. This feels like the lost game between making a 2D and a 3D Mario game. Actually, the 3DS version, the original, really is what gives off that appeal. He screwed up and died.
Fucked it up.
Mario Land is
yes, yeah. But so this has like that sort of like pedigree of being like a Mario game that's both great for 2D players and 3D players. I'm obviously playing by myself, but you can play with 4 people. And it's just like a really good way for hardcore players to kind of introduce like family members or new people into Mario without being like, here's like the original NES game, enjoy. We'll talk about Super Mario World in like a week. Just great. And then there's Bowser's Fury, which takes forever to load into because it's the Switch. So I won't go over to it. But Bowser's Fury is basically the same game, but if you make like a lost game between Super Mario 64 and like a 2D Mario, where they were just like, hey, we need to figure out how we can translate this 3D stuff for 2D players. And they're like, okay, well, here's Bowser's Fury. So it's basically, it feels like at times your first 3D Mario game for single players, because obviously you could do this if you want to do the multiplayer. And then you can also play co-op with Bowser Jr., who can fly around and hit you with his little paintbrush guy. And that's great to have somebody who's not used to playing Mario and knows where all the secret stuff is all the time because you've played a dozen platformers before, play as the Mario, while the person that is experienced can kind of fly around and stop enemies as Bowser Jr. And just basically cooperate with the basic Mario player. And man, what a great series of games. It's stuff like this where it feels like Nintendo at times is lazy when you've got stuff like Skyward Sword that's coming out with $60. No sort of real changes other than maybe thumbstick controls, which is a big change, but maybe there's more stuff that we don't quite know about yet. But they ported this game, which is a more recent game, and then was like, we have this engine and this sort of toolbox let's flip the camera around and make another cool separate experience. And man, so good. That's an official review. So good. I
actually do think that they're going to end up eventually releasing Bowser's Fury by itself. Like low-key, they'll just say, hey, if you want to download Bowser's Fury, here it is for $19.99 or something, just for those folks who don't want to pick the whole package up. Why wouldn't you? Because it's a phenomenal package. But God, they're both so great. They're both so great. Yep. And what else have you been playing, dude?
I mean, this mostly. I mentioned Genshin Impact, but yeah, nothing else. Just Mario, Bowser's Fury, this Mario.
Okay.
Good times.
Good times. Zach, what have you been playing, dude?
Baby, I've been playing. See, this week I've been playing Part-Time UFO. I was playing that a lot this week.
That's a great game.
Pick it up. I have it for the iOS, but
that game is really fun and really hard. And yeah, it was like, I don't know. This week I've been trying to, conserve electricity, be like low key and stuff.
Yeah.
So
we were sure you were going to be on it. We were actually giving you a pass to not show up.
Yeah.
How crazy it is right now.
So I was playing on my.
By the way,
I know he almost fell.
What's up?
Yeah,
I play a lot of Mario. I was not worried.
So I was playing that on my Switch, and it's really fun. It's such a strange game. Like it just plays a UFO, like organizing stuff, and it's fun. The big difficulty of the game isn't really like playing it. It's figuring out the extra missions that you need to complete to get the 3 stars. Because there's no explanation to what you need to do. It just shows a picture. It'll show like a star with like a 5. And you're like, oh, so I guess I have to stack 5 stars maybe. I don't know. So like you just have to figure that out. So that's fun. It's like $4. I don't know. It's cheap. That's cool. It's been made by Natsume. It's kind of a weird thing, but and you can buy outfits and dress your dude up, and you press a button, he'll like do a thumbs up and like chop the air with a knife or something. So that's fun. So besides that, I've been playing Haven, which is the game.
Yes.
The game by the Fury developers. What's their name? I have their thing up. The Game Bakers. So
yes,
Haven is not like Fury at all. So Fury, if you're not familiar, it's like a one hit, you're dead, like bullet hell, Devil May Cry type of game. Boss rush. Yeah. With like a lot of good music. And then Haven is. Yeah, it's good. Then Haven is a
co-op kind of
co-op relationship building
space love story.
Yeah, so you play as you and Kay, this couple that escaped this this planet that like assigns people to being couples, and they fell in love and they're outside of the assigned whatever, so they escaped, and they crash landed on this like random planet, and they're just there to survive. One of them's a mechanic, the girl, I think her name's Yu, and then Kay is like a biologist, and they're just trying to figure out how to live on this planet. And there's a lot of cute interactions and some really like down to earth things that you can talk you talk about. And what's fun about it, I think, is you can influence how they talk to each other. So you can say something and they'll gain confidence, like, oh, like they said, like, oh, I think I can do this better than how you're doing it, like, and they'll gain confidence. So you can kind of like build back and forth and see how that works, and that's fun. And you get to cook, which is fun too. And you get to eventually you unlock like a mapping system where you have to like map through the world, and you have to heal the world of this red kind of corruption, and you have to heal it with like I skipped something. So the big main mechanic of the game is you like slide around. You gotta like hit these like blue orbs to get more energy for your shoes and your hands, because the gravity is like off, so it's like way heavier, so you're like gliding. So you need energy to do that. Then you use that energy to heal the wildlife and the ground and stuff, and you use things you find around to build things and level up your ship and repair your ship, level up your character. Because this game is also an RPG. It's also a turn-based RPG when you run into bad guys too. So you run into bad guys and you fight them, and you fight. And if you're playing by yourself, you control both characters at the same time. So you can like do combo attacks. Like one might be weak to a blast attack, one might be weak to a strike attack. So you can like kind of do combos and then you have to pacify them. So you don't kill anything. It's not really a game about killing, which is fun. So you just kind of try to rebuild this planet and figure out your life as a couple. And it's interesting. It's really good. It's weird, which is usually the types of games that I like to play are weird games. So this is right up my alley. And the graphics are pretty. The music is gorgeous. It's definitely a game that you'd pick up for like $20 and not feel bad about it. So
it is on Game Pass. So
I didn't know that. So there you go. I think the writing is definitely the main focus of the game. The relationship is really like the main gameplay thing too, because any can choose who you control while you're going around. So and when they're like flying around, they like hold hands and they'll do quips at each other and like poke fun and like flirt and stuff.
I liked it when they were like floating around and you can just like hold hands while doing it. It's adorable.
Yeah. And games really don't do relationships well. So this is like
it's relationships are either toxic or like overly horny. So it's nice to just have like, it's just a nice sweet couple that are just happy to be around each other.
It's really it's about just two young. It's like about a couple trying to find themselves, basically. So it's different. It's fun. It's not what I expected from this development team.
From the team, huh?
From the Fury team,
the Fury.
From the Fury guys, But then besides that, 30XX, which is the Mega Man randomly like procedurally generated roguelike game.
They spent time cleaning that up.
Yeah, it's okay. So the game's good, but it still has a lot of work. Like it's not anywhere near close to being done at all. It launched this week, but they're definitely at a point where they need feedback from players, so that's why they launched it. But it has online co-op, which is cool because you can play as a person like you can play the dude with the sword or the girl with the gun. So Mega Man and Proto Man, which is fun. And I mean, if you like the first one, you'll like this one. The first one, it looks really ugly to me, so I don't like that one. But this one has pixel graphics and it looks cool. So I'm like, okay, fine. But it's what I think the game does well is the randomly generated levels don't feel random. They feel like they're made, but they are definitely random. Yeah. Like each level has a certain logic to it so if you play the game a lot, you'll know like, okay, this level I know has this type of platform, this type of enemy, but it's always going to be a different path to get to that point. So that's really fun. If you play a lot of like platforming games like Mega Man X and those types of games, you're like it's like the exact same game. Like it feels the same. It has like the
inspiration.
Yeah, it has like the dash jump that those games have. That if you don't play those games, you don't really know how to like store a jump and like dash and jump and
it's
make
like
you go higher.
No.
Yeah,
right.
It's definitely like Mighty Number 9, but good. So that's fun. But it has potential. I had to go download 20XX just to try it out to compare it, and I didn't like playing that game because I think it's just an abysmal looking game. It's no offense to them. I just hate like the ragdoll like puppet looking things like the new Ghouls and Ghosts. It has that look, and it's like, ugh. But yeah, no, this is I think this game has potential to be like really popular if it hits. If it hits all its points. I mean, all my friends I know that like these types of games are already playing it, so
yeah,
it's at least doing good.
20XX was just a huge hit amongst people that are clamoring for a Mega Man game, and people like were yelling it from mountaintops, like, play 20XX, it's Mega Man, just play it, please. Especially after Mighty Number 9, like after the Mighty Number 9 situation, it was
debacle.
Nice. Yeah.
And like I was saying with the levels, with the so the bosses, I think are pretty cool because they're very different than what you're used to in like a Mega Man game. There's this one boss fight that's an owl that you have to like chase along the stage, so it's like not like in like a confined spot. So like you'll fight it and then it starts throwing shit at you, and you have to like run and dodge and hide and stuff and keep going. So there's definitely gameplay hooks that are different than what you would expect. So that's cool. It's definitely pushing some new types of things in the genre, which is rare. So yeah, because there's not any of these games coming out I can't think of.
No, it doesn't. So. It's a dead sort of genre for the most part. Like this is it. Like nobody's making this style run and gun to side scrollers, especially skill based ones like Mega Man and stuff. So it's nice to just have one.
Definitely, what's there is good. It feels good to play, which is I think the most important thing for these games is it has to feel good. Because I mean, like the first, like I was saying, the first one doesn't look good, but it feels good to play, and it does all the things right. So it scratches that like itch, which is what's like important. And so the game
as well was it felt good. Didn't look great, but it felt good.
Yeah, and I'm excited for them to add more items and more power-ups because there's not that much in the game. But yeah, it's definitely cool. I would, if you like early access games, definitely get it, because with these devs, they are actively in forums and posting stuff, so they're looking for feedback. So.
And
if you want to be a
they follow side questing a lot as well. Yeah, they're very active, and you're right. They listen to fan feedback nonstop. When they think the first time we saw 20XX was at like maybe in the first PAX East, and it had a completely different name back then. And then we kind of watched them grow the game and develop it over the years, and they finally release it, and then. It's kind of cool to watch. And they take all that feedback as great criticism. So it's always cool.
It's a good name too. Yeah. That's a good paying homage to Mega Man name. Yep. I appreciate the name a lot.
Totally. Anything else you've been playing?
Nope. Final Fantasy 14. Everyone go play Final Fantasy 14.
One of the 20 million plus that are playing. And the conservation of electricity is what you're playing as well.
Yeah, we finally got electricity back today, so we're fully last night they said everything is going to be okay, so I was like, okay, time to turn on my computer. So
good stuff. Let's see, what have I been playing? I've got a couple of review codes for games. A couple of them one is already on Steam, and one is out this week. I'm gonna put this first one in. Hey, do you guys like Donkey Kong?
No, absolutely
no.
Actually, I thought they would announce some Donkey Kong thing because Donkey Kong's like 40th.
Yeah, like
oh my god, there's like
it's the one guy. It's like poor Donkey Kong. Man.
Always gets kind of forgotten. Anyways, this game is called Castle Kong, and it's out on Switch. Or it's coming to Switch. It's out on Steam right now. It was supposed to be out on Switch back in like July, but they obviously pushed it off till recently. It's essentially Donkey Kong with a castle instead of and a baron instead of a monkey throwing barrels. It's nothing special, but it's just, and it's not like the hard. It's a Fix-It Felix within a castle. They sent us this code. They're like, "Hey, how many codes do you want?" And I'm like, "Just send us one." I'm glad I got one code. I'm glad
10,
I got it. But hey, you know what? If you like your Donkey Kong games, and I kind of miss Donkey Kong, it's kind of a fun way to, it scratches a little bit of an itch when I think it comes out next week or the week after, and they're holding like some contest. They're like, hey, if you're one of the top 10 folks, like high scores by April or something, you can get like a prize up to like $1,200. The game will probably be pretty affordable to purchase. I'm guessing. I don't know the price of. I wouldn't doubt it if this is like under $5, under $3. I don't know. It's just a nice Donkey Kong itch scratching game.
You should hit play on the X-Men movie scene that's over there.
Yeah, I know. I see there.
I've never said, man, I want to play classic Donkey Kong.
So classic Donkey Kong was the very first video game I ever played, and the first game I ever owned on my Atari 2600. So my dad got us a 2600, and I got just in the best version.
So you're an expert. On this.
There's some rumors kind of rumbling about Arcade 1-Up maybe working with Nintendo on something.
Oh, cool! That would be awesome.
I wonder I would hope that Donkey Kong would be sort of like the obvious choice, and like throw in the other stuff 2 and 3 and Popeye maybe if they can secure that one.
Oh, man, that would be amazing. Yeah, the original. Yep, but.
Yeah, but the best Donkey Kong is the Game Boy Donkey Kong.
94.
So I think it's Donkey Kong 94.
It's the whole reason to own a 3DS. The other game I've been playing is I got a review code for. Share the screen here. Cathedral.
This game looks cool.
Published by Alden Pixels. It's So I reviewed. I already forget. All was Legacy, which was a Metroidvania with like magic and stuff. This is a Metroidvania that kind of takes a little bit of the look of Shovel Knight.
Oh yeah.
A little bit,
and throws in a little bit of Castlevania, like Castlevania-ish Metroidvania type stuff. But
Ghouls and Ghosts.
Ghouls and Ghosts.
Thank you. I say Ghouls and Ghosts because
he's got the walk cycle of him.
Totally. And so Alden Pixels, they're really great at just like capitalizing on nostalgia. They're like, hey, what's the old stuff that you like? I mean, look at it.
These windows are just Shovel Knight, man.
Totally. But you know what? This game's a lot of fun. It's not as there are still issues with the game, like
that's a Shovel Knight boss.
Like you'll go through like huge sections of the game where you're not bumping into any enemies, or there's
Kirby
not much
level here.
And so there is a lot of like. It takes a while to build up the game, but then you will get like scenes like this where you have to bounce up off of fireballs and do all kinds of stuff. And
like fire.
I'm digging it though, man. I dig it. It's not a perfect game because there still are a little few issues here and there, but there's it's gonna scratch that itch. I've said it twice now, but it's just a really cool nostalgic feel, and it feels good, and like these ideas of being able to like float on top. I mean, it's cool. It's just a really good feeling game. So
yeah, that mechanic they showed with the map, being able to map your way around, is actually pretty cool.
Yep. So again, not perfect, but rarely a game is, but it's definitely an enjoyable, good experience. So yeah, if you like it, I would. I just literally got the code, I think yesterday or something, and so I've been playing it today for a couple hours, and that was essentially it. But for those couple hours, you know what this game is. I mean, you have an exact feel for what they're trying to do with it. So yeah, it's worth it. I'll have more when I do like a video or a hot take or something. But yeah, that's it, man. That's it. That's all we've been doing. It's an hour and a half coming up on here. It's funny, we spent an hour talking news and then only like 20 plus minutes talking talking actual gameplay, but that's okay. So yeah, with that, we're gonna sign off for the week.
You didn't even ask me what I played, but that's fine.
I skipped over you. What have you been playing? I can't believe I skipped over you. No, it's my fault. What have you been playing? Go ahead, JJ. Holy shit, why did I skip over you? Oh, dude. I was going clockwise.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. On my screen,
son of a bitch. No, I'm not going to talk about it now. Fuck it.
No, but, yeah, you have something kind of cool that you've been playing that you could actually start talking about yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead, tell me about it.
Yeah, well, first I'll just get the bullshit out of the way with I've obviously been playing Mario, but I got a Series X finally, so that's
you
that through the paces.
The opening of the box, which was an experience
with ridiculous presentation. We just open it up and it's like literally on a pedestal inside the box. It's the funniest thing.
I want one, even though I have too many games, too many consoles. I want a Series X.
Well, I don't have any. Like, I have Forza Horizon 4 is fantastic on it.
Yeah,
that much I can tell you. The game changer was putting Rock Band on there.
Oh, really?
I don't know if you play Rock Band still, but I do significantly.
Yep.
And I have almost 1,000 songs and everything, so everything's loaded up in there. But it's the solid state drive that fixes a lot of the Rock Band 4 problems, because that game is load heavy. And it's not anymore. It is zippy. It's like it used to take quite a while to go from the title screen to the main menu, and it's like a couple of seconds now. It's and it reads your DLC significantly
quickly.
Yeah. So that much, and it's got the Series X, and I'm assuming Series S has that. They're HDR is always on for everything. So even Rock Band, which doesn't have any enhancements or anything, visually looks so much better because the colors are so much better on the highway, the Note highway and everything. It's just
And Microsoft is really good at enhancing older games.
Yeah. So everything's still kind of downloading for me. It's
the 4 hours of download.
Yeah. Well, it's obnoxious when you're doing Rock Band, because like I said, I have almost 1,000 songs and it has to download each and every one of those by itself. So you're sitting there playing Forza, and you have to turn off notifications because it's just a constant stream of telling me what song just finished downloading, because they're only megabytes, so it's just a nightmare.
Okay, that would be, oh my god, that would be so annoying.
Yeah, but
sweet.
Yeah, that's
Series X. Now we know who will be reviewing Series X games for us.
There we go. So it's a good. I don't have to do any work because there are no Series X games.
There are no. Ta-da!
But no, I got the review code the other day for the new Neo Geo Pocket Color release on the Switch.
Nice.
It's so fucking good. It's in the tiers of Neo Geo Pocket Color games, which sounds like a stupid thing to say, but isn't. It's probably one of the best. It is SNK versus Capcom Match of the Millennium.
Okay.
So this is this actually is a cool one, because it is they need Capcom to work with them on this one to get it onto the stores. So I think it's I'm pretty 100% sure that it's the first crossover game. It predates SVC Chaos.
Right.
They didn't partner up before this. And it is I talked about a couple of weeks ago the which one was it? Fatal Fury? Final Fight?
Fatal Fury. Yeah.
I think it was Fatal Fury.
King of Fighters, Fatal Fury.
Yeah, I think it was Fatal Fury. Because it wasn't King of Fighters, it was the Terry Bogard game that's not King of Fighters. And so all of the fighting games have the same visual aesthetic. They all look exactly the same. But they just have this unified thing on the Neo Geo Pocket Color games. There's more. There's a female fighting game and stuff like that. And I think even the Metal Slug game has the same visual aesthetic as it. So it is your typical tag fighting game from this. It's one-on-one as well, but it's a partnership. It's a combo. So you have the SNK characters, as you can see. We got all of the King of Fighters and Fatal Fury.
It's just cool to see the chibi version of Dan.
The chibi versions of Dan and stuff. Yeah, and it's got a good collection of Capcom fighters. They have all of the characters unlocked. There are secret characters in this game. But there's also so much. There's almost so much more to this game that you wouldn't really think would be in there. It does have multiplayer, I never got around to trying it on the console, but if you're in handheld mode, they go about multiplayer in the weirdest way. So I got my Switch here. So if you have multiplayer, one person is on like this side, the other person is on the other side, and you're each looking at your own screen, like you're each playing your own Neo Geo linked together. It's the weirdest way of handling that, but I get it, but also no. it doesn't feel good playing.
Dude, this game looks cool.
Doesn't it?
I can't and it's got mini games. It has a mini games collection in it. So they're not anything major, but like they have this like Olympic mode. And it's sort of like things like you go through a tournament that is one hit kill, or one hit knockout, and how far can you go? Or you saw there was like this Metal Slug inspired shooter in there, or Ghouls and Ghosts style, sort of just like how long can you survive jumping back and forth, and it is absolutely really solid. Like as far as fighting games go, you can't like complain at all about the content of this. It is just a 2-button fighter, but it looks good. It's way better playing it on the Switch than the actual Neo Geo because it's much smoother. It
looks like it has no right to look as good as it does for a Neo Geo Pocket game.
Yeah, and you see, there's dialogue. The characters insult each other on the way in, and if you know how to play, a fighting game, I mean, you can be very competent at this, and they really added a lot.
So they have it's obviously a 2D fighter. Looks like they took levels from or backgrounds from SNK games and
Capcom. Yeah,
and Capcom. What's the Is the Capcom portion just Street Fighter?
No, because there's like Darkstalkers. You can see there's
all right.
Yeah, but I mean, it's mostly it's just fighting game stuff. There's nothing much more. But right there. That's like a mini game that's in there.
That's cool.
It's good. I said like Fatal Fury when we did that one. Like this is a good one for historians or what have you. It's like people that are just kind of interested in like the history of like where handheld gaming was back in the day.
This is when I look at a lot of these types of games, I think, I'll never be interested in it. This one looks like it's got enough content to actually get me interested in playing this thing.
There's more to this game than just the fighting aspect of it too. Like there's some good single player stuff. Like I said, the Olympic mode in this is very, very
What's the
good.
Olympic mode?
It's just it has like things that you just need to accomplish. Like it's got mini games. It's like some of them is just like tournament based. Like I said, one hit knockout. How far can you get? Like a survival mode. And other ones is like a Metal Slug style, like first person, like shoot all the aliens, and like arcade style stuff. And like ninja training and things like that. And it's just got a lot of meat on the bones. Like if all of the Neo Geo Pocket Color ones that they have released or could potentially release in the future, this is probably the one to get. This is actually like, I have this one physically, like hard cased version of this game.
Show it again. You got that physically right there.
It's a hard case, like actual shock box version of this game, and it's like the only one I own complete because it is like the game. It is so good. It is a solid fighting game. If you're a fan of fighters, get it. Awesome. and you have access to a Switch. It's definitely and it's like it's like I forget, like $8 at most. I think I don't think they charge that much for the Neo Geo Pocket stuff. I hope they release the other crossover stuff because there are 2 more SNK versus Capcom games, but they're card battle games.
Oh, really?
And so, but it's like Pokemon style. Like this is the SNK version, and this is the Capcom version, and it's really good. So awesome. I'm hoping with this, and they teased like putting out a collection or something on Twitter the other day.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Which I don't know if it was just maybe bad English, like a bad translation saying like we've worked with Capcom to get SNK versus Capcom up on the eShop, or if they were actually teasing like a package is coming. It was kind of hard to infer, but it made it sound like there's a package coming, which would be cool. I hope this means also that like SVC Chaos comes out at some point. That was a good. Yeah. Do you know how excited I would be if they re-released Tatsunoko versus Capcom?
I was gonna say that too. I owned that on Wii at one point.
That came out the same time as Marvel versus Capcom 3, and Tatsunoko versus Capcom is the way better game. It's kind of a simplified fighting game, but not like in a stupid way. Like it's like baby's first fighting game. It's just like they streamlined what a Marvel versus Capcom game is to an incredible degree. I hope they figure that shit out sometime. But yeah, Match of the Millennium is the pinnacle of what the Neo Geo Pocket Color was doing at the time, and very few. I think that there's only like at best the Sonic the Hedgehog. I guess Facile is a game that I would probably like to see on there. It is impossible to get it in English. It is an RPG and like the only RPG on the system. So I guess that would be my only wish, really, from the.
Keep them rolling. Keep them coming. These couple have been great. The ones you've kind of had.
If they keep putting these out, I will keep getting them. I will keep talking about them. I'm a huge sucker for Neo Geo Pocket Color stuff. I'm a huge sucker for SNK stuff in general. But the thing that's cool. The thing that's cool about a lot of this SNK, these Neo Geo Pocket stuff, is a lot of people didn't play any of it. The Pocket and the Pocket Color didn't perform in America like at all, and they just sort of lost
for like the historians.
Yeah, and the package comes together really well. I talked about it last time. You know, you get to choose which Neo Geo Pocket you're using. You can use touchscreen controls, which I don't recommend, but it's there if you want to. But yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely get this one. Yeah.
So just looking at that game, it's just so crazy to me how pixel art just like doesn't age. Like it's just like it's timeless.
This one in particular, like this style is so like it's definitely something they could put out now and just call it like they could have just like SNK versus Capcom Chibi Fighters, and you would be like, you would not have thought that this was a Neo Geo Pocket Color game from like. I don't know what year this came out originally. That's like a 99. So there you go. Yeah. So
I was 5 years old.
Hey.
My gosh.
Shut up.
20, almost 21. What? I turned 20. Yeah, I was 21. Goodness. What? Anything else we've been playing?
Nope. That's it. That's it.
Good stuff. Loading up that Xbox and
yeah.
Yeah, you sold me on this Capcom game, my dude. I am
good.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy
it. All right, now we'll shut down the show.
Okay.
Did I miss anybody? Is Aaron sneaking in here? Now we're at an hour and a half mark. With that said, again, you can find us sidequesting.com at sidequesting at Dolly Domofsky. For me, Sam is just hidden behind a wall of Mario 3D World whenever he's that's what he's doing right now. He's playing, which is totally cool.
I never know if Sam's there or not. I'm just assuming he's whenever we're talking, he's playing doing something way better.
I only come when summoned, so if you spend 5 minutes without talking to me, I like basically go to sleep like a cell phone.
Are you Bahamut or are you like Ramu? Is that when you're summoned? I don't know. Knights of the Round. And also JJ.
The _double_J on Twitter and DisneyCompendium.com, although it's been real quiet on Disney Compendium.
For obvious reasons.
But it's back.
To life now.
It's back, baby. We got a new episode coming. The Wreck-It Ralph episode is just around the corner. So,
and Zachary Quest.
You can find me at OKQuest on Twitter. I'll be tweeting a lot more now because I'm not freezing. So
and somehow we didn't, for those that are listening, we did an experiment. I'm clicking again with this time. We did an experiment on a review. We're like, you know what? Instead of just writing a review on on our site, let's actually have Zach tweet it out. That's old news. Let's do a tweet view. So Zach did a tweet review. I think it was like 12 or 13 tweets. We stuck them together. We posted that on the site with a couple extra notes. But Yeah, that blew up like for no reason. Your Call of Duty Blops review, which we posted like a couple weeks ago, like yesterday or the day of the Switch, the direct.
Yeah.
Up until the direct, that was like blowing up on the site, and I have no idea why. So whatever you did, maybe it's a cool way to do these reviews from now on because
you pumped some energy into that SEO, and here you go.
Yeah, exactly. With that, we'll see you all on the next episode. Stay warm. Get your electricity. If you need any help, reach out for one of us. We'll figure out ways to help you out. But stay healthy, and we'll see you all on the next episode of The Side Quest. Adios. It was all